Today we're going to talk about Wilbur Leonard Lamoreaux, born February 26, 1907 in Illinois. He didn't like the name Wilbur much, so he told everyone, just don't call me Wilbur, call me Lammy. His family relocated from Illinois and they moved to the beautiful city of Pasadena, California, where the little old lady from Pasadena lives.
It's the little old lady from Pasadena. Go, granny, go, go, go. She drives real fast and she drives real hard. Go, granny, go, go, go. She's gonna get a ticket now sooner or later. Go, granny, go, go. You might drive a goer, but you'll never lose her. Go, granny, go, go. Go, granny, go.
And Wilbur was a avid motorcycle freak, like most of us are, and he just enjoyed motorcycles at an early age, and he always had this dream to be a professional motorcycle racer. 1923, Lammy convinced his mom to buy him an Indian Scout motorcycle because he wanted a job as a delivery boy for the Western Union. You know, back in the day before the internet, they had to deliver the information via the Western Union. And Lammy said to his mom, "Get me a motorcycle. Let me go to work." While at Western Union, Lammy, he met two other motorcycle enthusiasts. That was Jack and Cordy Milne. They were all from the same city of Pasadena. They all loved motorcycles. They all worked for the Western Union. The three amigos, they formed a very special bond of friendship based around motorcycles and their dreams and aspirations of all becoming champions. And guess what? Their dreams, their ambitions, that all came true. All three of those racers were champions. 1931, Jack and Lammy, they went down to the Breakfast Club to watch Cordy race Speedway. He converted his motorcycle into a Speedway bike. Now that would be a lot of fun to see. Anyways, Jack and Lammy were eating popcorn while Cordy was racing that Speedway. And Jack and Lammy, they said to each other, you know what? We need to get into this motorcycle racing business. And Jack Milne sold his gasoline station. They ordered JPs from England to start racing, and Lammy start racing. And they were just a very awesome threesome. These guys were just incredible. And in 1934, Lammy, he finished runner-up to Cordy for the United States Speedway Championship. Raced 3 more years in America before going to England in 1937 to race for the Wimbledon Dons. And that year he finished second in the World Championship. He went to England, finished second in the World Championship. He raced for the Dons for 3 seasons. Lammy was just an incredible rider, very beloved in England, and he was a future and a current Speedway star. 1938, Lammy won the NSW State Championship, and he finished 3rd place on the podium for the World Championship. So in 2 years, Lammy finished 2nd and 3rd place, both on the podium in the World Championship. Lamoreaux was an amazing Speedway rider. 1939, Lammy won the Scottish Championship, the Championship of Scottish. And I bet Bert Harkins would really be sad if he was a Speedway rider at that time. Because Bert, I think, was a little toddler, knee-high to a grasshopper, probably watching Lammy going, you know, dude, one day I'm going to be there and represent the great country of Scotland. 1939, that dreaded World War II started. Thank you, Adolf Hitler, for ruining Speedway. We had Cordy Milne ranked number 1 in the World Championship qualifier. And we had Lammy. He's probably doing really well. And everything went to hell. So all the American racers, they went ahead and left England. Jack Milne and Cordy, they left England, never to return. However, Lammy returned. I shall return. He returned about 10 years later. But that totally destroyed the Speedway with the World War II starting. And the three amigos came back to California. They started promoting Speedway. They took all that money they made in England and they started promoting Speedway all over Southern California. They had these large Speedway events. They had lots of money. It was paid to the racers, big purses, big spectators in the stands. They really did a great job in promoting the sport of speedway. Speedway came to a screeching halt with a war, but California, the Speedway continued. There's lots of races, weekly races everywhere, up and down the coast of California. Lammy finally won his first United States Speedway Championship in 1948. And Sir Arthur Elvins, he went ahead and saw that. And he said, you know, Lammy, you could still race in the British League. And he recruited him to race for the Wembley Lions. And Lemmy went ahead and went back to Europe and went back to England. However, Jack and Cordy, they stayed in America. They had nothing to do with going back to Europe again. But Lammy, he went ahead and went back and had success in there. And also in 49, he finished 5th place in the World Championship. That was 10 years after they had left for the war. So Lammy, he had it. You know, he had that gift. He was a great rider. He finished 5th. However, he would have been on the podium with at least a 3rd place finish, but he had an engine failure, and that caused him to lose points and to lower himself in the standings to 5th place. The Olympic Park in Melbourne and the Sydney Showgrounds was where they had the test matches. The USA versus Australia. They had lots of rivalry, lots of great speedway. You know, the Australians are really good speedway riders. They're the ones that brought speedway to Europe, to England. And the Australians were definitely giving the Americans a run for their money. But Lammy was a member of that team who competed against the Australians. Lammy raced the 2 years for Wembley, and then he raced one more year for Birmingham. Then he called it a quits. He called it retirement. He moved back home. I guess he relocated to Pennsylvania for his last days. Lammy was a member of the AMA Hall of Fame. He deserved that. He was a fantastic rider. He was a competitor. He was a fierce competitor. And he was a champion. Lammy deserved that AMA Hall of Fame honors. And he retired and came back to the United States. And somehow he relocated to Pennsylvania. And he lived there for the remaining of his days. He was honorable and a good citizen of his town in Pennsylvania. And at the age of 56, he suddenly had pneumonia for a few days. He got really sick. And at the age of 56, like I mentioned, he had passed away, which was very sad. He was a young guy, really. He had such a great life, and he left a wife and 2 boys, and he was just a beloved member of the Speedway world. He was one of the great Speedway riders in American history, and we certainly honor the life and the achievements, the honors of a true champion. And who is that? That's Lamoreaux. Rest in peace, Lammy.